Hello students! Today I want to show you how to draw cute faces like this. This is how I drew faces and this is what I will teach you today. We're gonna use tools like this. I have a ruler and something to draw a circle. When I wanted to show you how I drew cute faces, I don't remember how I drew my faces, because I learned it a long time ago, so I just took some of my illustrations and measured everything to know how I do this, where I put eyes and all that things. And I will start with drawing a circle. And in this video I will give you a lot of measurements, and we're gonna divide in half and again in half, so there will be like a lot of math, but don't be discouraged by this. I want to give you these measurements, so when you will be at home practicing at your own and something will be like feel off, you could just take the ruler and measure everything. Maybe the eyes are too far away, maybe they are too high, maybe the nose is too low or too high. So that's why I'm giving you all those measurements, because I can't tell you put the eyes where you feel it, because what that even means. When you will be when you will practice for some time, then you will just do this intuitionally, like without even thinking and without using a ruler. So now I have my circle and I will divide it in half horizontally. So I measure, this is 8 centimeters long, so I cut it over here. And I'm doing this line, and this line, when I cut it in half, is where the eyebrows will be. And now again I will split those spaces again on half. And this part here is where the nose will be. And now I will divide it also vertically. For this I will use another color to not confuse you, to make it more clear. This is, well, the middle of the face. And now those lines, this middle line, I will also cut in half. And on this line is where the middle of the eye will be. And again I will split it again in half, again with a different color. So I'm splitting this in half, this in half, this in half, and this in half. Oh, this. And now this line here is the middle of the eyes, of the eye, and the eyes, this is the dimension of the eye from this brown dark black line to the black line. This is the space between the eyes, and it's the same length as the eye. and again eye from here to here. And because I have my line for brows and the size of an eye, I can now draw the eyebrow over here, a little arch. And I won't draw the eye right now because I want to tell you exactly where to put the eye, but I can put the nose, this little line, almost a dot. This is my nose, and I will just draw it on the middle of the face and of the middle of this lower section. Just I drew like a little bit a line like this. And now another part that we're gonna do, these small sections over here, I'm gonna cut them in half and just throw away this one part. So I'm cutting it again in half, again in half, and now I will cut it, and this is the part of the circle that we won't use. So the final shape of the face will be from the brow here, and I don't want to make it like a sharp edge, so I will curve it here to the chin, and again this line and this. And now where to put the eyes. I will take this colored pencil, and this section I will cut in half and again in half. So like this. And again in half. So I had my high of the circle, the high of the face. I cut it in half. I cut it in half. I cut it in half again, so it's 1/4, and again, so this is the 1/16. Yes. So the distance from the brow to where I will draw the eye is 1/16, and I will take this colored pencil and draw my eyes also. Like, remember, from this darker to this darker, a little arch like this. Oh, it's not the same color, this. A little arch like this. And now in this cute kawaii style, you can draw eyes all over to the nose, where the nose is. Or you can like finish the eyes a little bit higher than the nose. So this is the line when the nose is. So you can mark here the end of the eye and then draw something. You don't want to fill this whole space, you want to leave a little bit of this white around the eyes. So you want to make something like a circle or like an egg shape. So we have eyes, and now where to put mouth. And again we're gonna split this length in half. And now again in half, and this is, the distance is 1/8. from nose, the 1/8 of the height of the face. So this is the mouth. And now ears, because I cut this part away. Ears are from when the eyes start to the nose. So you can draw something like half of the heart. This is how I drew ears. And now where the hair are, the proportion of the head is that the height of the nose, the length of the nose starts when the eyebrow starts and it ends here, and it's 3 times in the face. So one is the length of the nose, the second is from nose to the chin, and the third part is to the end of the forehead. So this line here is when the forehead ends, and this line here, it's not only the head but also the volume of the hair. So when I want to draw a nice bang, I can make like a heart shape here. Some the hair grows from the line of the forehead, and I cut only this part of the circle from the brow to the end of the eyes, something like this. But this whole circle over here will help me draw the hair, because the hair don't want, if I cut this part of the circle, but the hair won't go like just flat here, they go nicely over here. You can follow the whole line of the circle and just draw. And mouth, I will follow this shape here. So when you draw hair, you start somewhere in the middle of her head, on the top, and follow this circle, and then put it down. It's like, imagine that it's like a water, that it's like whoo and boom, a little bit of gravitation here. And now here is the end of her, it's her chin here, and you can leave this curvy line, circle line, but also you can play, and from this moment here when we cut the circle, cut off a little bit of the circle, so from here you can make it less curvy. Something like this. So again, the measurements are, you cut this circle in half, again in half, again in half, and again in half, and then there's the mouth. The length of the eye is the dimension, it's the length of the space between the eyes. Okay, so I will take this black pen and follow those lines, so you could see what shape we have at the end. Or I will use a light table to trace those lines. So I'm using my simple light table with glass shelf and a LED light, and I will trace those shapes, because on this this pen don't want to trace the lines over this colored pencil. And also you could see the comparison and how this face look. with those lines and without those lines. So this is how it looks without all those lines, and you can now try it yourself. You will need a ruler and something to draw a circle, and you don't want to use the ruler all the time for draw a face. So I have two exercises for you that you can do because you don't want to use ruler all the time. And the first one is to just draw circles. Just draw circles, just fill the pages with circles. Just like that. And the second exercise is to train your eyes to divide in half and then in four, and to do that without having to carry a ruler all the time. Draw a line and then measure with your 4 fingers where is the start and where is the end. And now you can divide in half and in 4, and you can easily check, like so from here to here, where is the middle? Here, and you can take, 2 of your 4 fingers and measure it. It's correct, yes. And then you can again and again. And you don't want to have it like really mathematically correct, like this have to be this exact measurements, because as you can see over here, that in these illustrations or on this face, like on this illustration, the nose is much lower than here, and the mouth is much lower than here. So but I remember that I started with this circle, with this measurement, with dividing in half and again in half, because when you're learning at home, you can have some tools to make sure that you are going the right direction, that you know what you're doing. When you want to like only copy illustration, some cute face like that, and you try to do it at your own, but you don't know those fundaments, those rules, and something feels off in your drawing, then you're like don't know what to change, how to improve. And with a ruler, with a circle, you can just check what is missing, what to improve and what to change. So you can practice with the circle shape, divide in smaller sections, and it's like anatomically correct. You have simple rules how to do this, like maybe not simple, you have mathematical rules how to do this, and so you can practice on your own. So that was this tutorial, this practice with a ruler. As I say, I learned myself how to draw cute faces many years ago, and I forgot how to do this, so I had to remind myself. So let me know what you think about this tutorial. Was it clear for you? Maybe some things was like obvious for me because I'm drawing this for so many years, but they not quite clear for you. So please let me know in the comments. I will try to answer you. And if it will be needed, I will make a second part of this tutorial. So hopefully that will be a little help for you. So thank you for watching, my dear students, and if you want to see how I paint those cute faces, you can check this video here, and see you in my next video. Bye!